There's an invisible cage that traps most people in mediocrity. It's a silent force that keeps them from reaching their full potential. And no, it's not your job, it's not your boss, and it's not the economy. It's something much more personal and much more powerful. It's a mindset, a deeply ingrained way of thinking that convinces you to trade your boundless potential for the comfort of a predictable paycheck. Jim Rohn, the legendary business philosopher who shaped modern leadership, saw this cage clearly. He gave us a powerful warning, a piece of advice that, if you truly understand it, can change the entire trajectory of your life. He said, "Don't join an easy crowd. You won't grow. Go where the expectations and the demands to perform are high. That easy crowd, that's the comfort zone. That's the cage. It feels safe. It feels predictable, but it's a place where dreams go to die." Today, we're not just going to talk about this cage. We're going to give you the keys to unlock it. We'll be breaking down the 3 fundamental mental shifts you need to make to escape the employee mindset and start thinking, acting, and achieving like a true leader, no matter what your job title says. Because here is the secret that so many people miss. Leadership has absolutely nothing to do with your business card, your position on an org chart, or the number of people who report to you. Leadership is an internal operating system. It's a way of processing the world. It's a choice. An employee asks, "What am I getting for this work?" A leader asks a profoundly different question. Who am I becoming through this work? That single shift in perspective changes everything. Are you ready to make that shift? Let's begin. The first, and perhaps most critical shift, is moving from a time-for-money mindset to a value-for-value mindset. The traditional employee mindset is completely trapped in this time-for-money exchange. You clock in, you trade your hours for dollars. You clock out. It's a linear, limited transaction. Your income is directly tied to the number of hours you can physically work. But leaders, innovators, and top performers understand a much more powerful, more leveraged law, the law of value. They know that your true income, your real worth in the marketplace, is not determined by your time. It is determined by the size of the problems you solve and the amount of value you create for others. Think about it. A surgeon isn't paid for the 90 minutes they spend in the operating room. They're paid for the decades of study, practice, and skill that allow them to save a life in those 90 minutes. That's value. An entrepreneur isn't paid for the hours they work. They're paid for creating a product that solves a problem for thousands, or even millions, of people. That's value. So, how do you make this shift practical? Here's your first exercise. I want you to conduct a value audit on your last work week. Grab a piece of paper or open a document and list everything you did. Be honest. From answering emails, to attending meetings, to working on big projects. Now, go through that list with a critical eye and highlight only the tasks that actually created measurable, tangible value for your company, your clients, or your customers. What moved the needle? What generated revenue? What solved a customer's problem? You might be shocked at what you find. Many people discover they spend a huge portion of their day on low-value, busy work. Your new mission, should you choose to accept it, is to strategically redesign your workday. Aim to spend 80% of your time on those high-value activities you just highlighted. For the other 20%, the low-value tasks, your job is to find ways to automate, delegate, or simply eliminate them. This isn't about working harder. It's about working smarter on what truly matters. This is the first step to thinking like a leader. The second mental shift is moving from their problem to my responsibility. Jim Rohn had another classic quote that cuts right to the heart of this. He said, "Don't wish it were easier, wish it were better." This is the anthem of personal responsibility. The default employee mindset sees a problem, a roadblock, or a failure and immediately looks for someone or something to blame. It's the economy's fault. My boss is clueless. My team members aren't pulling their weight. This department never gets us what we need on time. Complaining is the language of victim. It's passive, it's draining, and it keeps you powerless. A leader sees the exact same problem and takes ownership. They see it as an opportunity. They don't waste energy on blame. Instead, they ask the most powerful question you can ask in any situation. What can I do to make this better? This doesn't mean you're at fault for every problem, but it means you are responsible for your response to it. You have the power to influence the outcome. This mindset is magnetic. It draws people to you. It builds trust. It marks you as a problem solver, not a problem spotter. So here's your exercise for this shift. The very next time you feel the urge to complain about a problem at work, stop. Physically stop yourself. Take out that same piece of paper and write down the problem. Get it out of your head. Then, right below it, force yourself to brainstorm and write down 3 concrete, actionable steps you can personally take to be part of the solution. Maybe it's scheduling a meeting to clarify communication. Maybe it's learning a new skill to bridge a gap. Maybe it's just offering to help a struggling colleague. This single habit, if you practice it consistently, will make you stand out so dramatically in any organization that promotion and opportunity will start chasing you. You become the go-to person, the one who gets things done. You become a leader. This brings us to our third and final shift, moving from covering your assets to building your assets. The employee mindset is fundamentally rooted in fear and protection. Don't make mistakes. Don't rock the boat. Keep your head down, do your job, and protect your position. The primary goal is job security, which is often an illusion. You're essentially playing defense your entire career. The leader mindset is the complete opposite. It's about construction. It's about growth. Leaders are constantly, obsessively building their personal assets. And I'm not just talking about financial assets. I'm talking about the assets that truly create a fortune in life. Your skills, your network, your reputation, and most importantly, your character. This is where another one of Jim Rohn's most famous teachings comes in. Formal education will make you a living. Self-education will make you a fortune. Your diploma got you in the door. Your commitment to lifelong learning is what will build your empire. So, here is your final exercise, your mission for this shift. Your mission is to dedicate 1 hour a day to building a skill that makes you more valuable. This is your personal development hour. It's non-negotiable. Turn off the TV, put down your phone, and invest that time in yourself. Read a book on sales. Take an online course in marketing. Learn to code, practice public speaking. Listen to podcasts from experts in your field. Crucially, you're not doing this for your current job. You're doing this for the person you are becoming. You are building an asset that belongs to you, one that no economic downturn or difficult boss can ever take away. Your skills are your ultimate security. Do you see how these 3 shifts create a powerful, self-reinforcing loop? It's a leadership flywheel. When you focus on creating more value, you naturally have to take more responsibility for the outcomes. When you take more responsibility, you are driven to build your assets, your skills, and knowledge so you can solve bigger problems. And as you build your assets, you become capable of creating even more value for others. Value, responsibility, assets. This is the cycle. This is the engine of growth. This is how you transform from a passive consumer of opportunity into an active creator of opportunity. You stop waiting for a promotion to feel like a leader, and you start leading right where you are. Your new perspective becomes your new reality. So here's my challenge to you. Don't just listen to this and forget it. Implement one of these shifts this week. Just one. Maybe you'll start with a value audit and find out where your time is really going. Maybe you'll catch yourself about to complain and do the my responsibility exercise instead. Or maybe you'll schedule that 1 hour a day to start building your assets. First, create more value. Second, take more responsibility. Finally, build more assets. This is the path. This is the escape from the cage. If you're ready to break out of the employee trap and start building a life of leadership, impact, and true freedom, show some support by hitting that like button and subscribe for more wisdom that actually works. And I want to hear from you. Tell me in the comments below, which of these 3 shifts feels like the most challenging or the most needed for you right now? Let's start the conversation. Thanks for watching.